So Kanye is being sued by his former assistant named Lauren Pisciotta for sexual misconduct, sexual assault. And so Lauren has amended her lawsuit to include new details. So we're going to read all of that, and then we're going to look at the discourse happening about this on Twitter, because I want to get some of the facts straight. I want to get the focus of the conversation straight, because people are saying like, yo, like this girl isn't to be trusted. Like we can't take her word for it. Someone said that a judge keeps throwing out her frivolous lawsuits or something like that. So there's discourse that is happening, and we're gonna dive deep into it. But first, we gotta know what the fuck is going on, right? So we're gonna read this TMZ article here. Kanye West's former personal assistant is piling on more serious allegations against the rapper. Now she's accusing him of sexually assaulting her along with a bunch of other horrible stuff, according to new legal docs. Lauren Pisciotta, who originally sued Ye in 2024 after he allegedly sent her vile texts and videos before firing her, filed a second amended complaint this week, claiming Kanye did a whole truckload of bad things to her. She accuses Kanye of assault, battery, stalking, sexual battery, sex trafficking, false imprisonment, and more. Pisciotta says during a business trip, they were staying at a hotel in San Francisco where they were breaking ground on Ye's new Donda school, and Kanye started making unwanted advances. So this is after Kim K divorced Kanye, in the midst of his freaking out about P. Davidson, the events after he dropped the album Donda. That's kind of like the time frame we're looking at, just to get context. Pisciotta says she tried to rebuff Kanye, but he kissed her on the mouth and asked questions about what her vagina was like. She says she again tried to fend him off, but it was to no avail, claiming things took a dark turn at a writing session for a new album in his hotel suite. Pisciotta says Kanye masturbated and touched her vagina before falling asleep mid-sentence as he was talking to her. We're reading accusations here, allegations here, that type of thing. The him falling asleep tidbit is hilarious. Kanye then allegedly showed up to Pisciotta's hotel room and demanded she let him use her shower before pushing, and we've read this. This incident is detailed in the original lawsuit. So Kanye allegedly showed up at Pisciotta's hotel room and demanded she let him use her shower before pushing his way through the door. Pisciotta says Kanye then shoved her onto the bed, pinned her down, and forced his penis into her mouth. She says she begged and pleaded for Ye to stop and, quote, froze in shock and fear. She says Ye eventually stopped, apologized to her, and walked out of the room. And get this, Pisciotta says Ye offered her as a sexual gift to someone in exchange for Ye having sex with that person's significant other. She says Ye notoriously offered, and this is a quote, notoriously offered women as sexual gifts to men. Now this is in line with what we know about like Kanye and Bianca Censori's relationship. From like what's rumored and what I've read, at least, they have this open relationship where they do a lot of freak off type of things. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's whatever the fuck Diddy was doing exactly, but this like swinger type of vibe, I guess. He has these like odd kinks. Not to kink shame, but this shit is odd, dude, to say the least. I'm just saying that this claim is in line with what other type of things I've read about what Ye is into. By the way, in her first admitted complaint filed in May, Pisciotta accused Kanye of drugging her at a studio session co-hosted by Diddy. Nice little coloring of the context there. Co-hosted by Diddy, among other things. We reached out to Ye. So far, no word back. I wonder why. Ye used to respond to that shit. Not anymore. When was the last time Ye did a TMZ interview? Last time he was with TMZ, he got so pissed. I think he called in during the red hat debacle, like when he first wore the Donald Trump MAGA hat. He called into TMZ. Should we watch that for old time's sake? Back in 2017, 18, whatever the fuck, nobody in the hip-hop world was a Donald Trump supporter. That was like an automatic, I mean, clearly an automatic cancellation, because look at what Kanye went through.
Based on what you've just said here, it sounds to me you got precisely the reaction you wanted by wearing that hat.
I didn't want a reaction.
You wanted a reaction.
No.
You knew there was going to be a reaction.
I knew there was going to be a reaction, but I'm just living my life day by day, doing what I feel and what the Spirit calls upon me to do.
Oh yeah, also in his Jesus arc, his Christian arc, which he has completely dropped at this point. Don't forget about that. Kanye has completely dropped the whole Christian arc that he leaned into so hard. That was his crutch during all of this MAGA shit. I mean, Kanye's brain is fucking soup. His morals, his ideology, we knew as far back as 2018 at this point. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I never expected Kanye to go full Nazi. I didn't see that. I was the biggest Kanye fan. I seen the motherfucker in person a couple times. I like shaped my whole edginess around Kanye when I was coming out of high school and wanted to be like a visionary. Loved him. Loved him so much. Dude, as soon as he came out with the Nazi shit, I was out. I've been out for a long time and I was right. Been out since before I had this YouTube channel, but just in my mind, I can say like I was right. You know, as a fan, I dumped him as soon as he started doing this bullshit almost 3 years ago at this point. Fast forward to today, I made the right decision a long time ago. Just gotta follow your intuition. It's hard to let go of an artist that you love, but the old music, it's still there. You don't gotta stop listening to the old music. But I'm definitely not listening to 2024, 2025 Kanye. That's for fucking sure.
Well, you realize that you influence this dialogue that you're not apologizing, because everybody else, when they make a statement like that, they end up apologizing because they're so worried about what people say on social media.
Well, you know why when I went to visit him the first time, right
after the election.
Yeah, and I took the tweets down and everything.
Yeah.
Because I was drugged the fuck out, bro. I was drugged out. I was on opioids. 2 days after I got off of opioids, and I was addicted to opioids, 2 days I got off of opioids, I'm in the hospital, right? I'm taking two. Hey, everyone listen to this, please.
Yeah, this is the surreal part. He breaks like the fifth wall, right? He turns around to the fucking employees. That's a whole different kind of vibe. It's so strange because you just never see narcissism on this level. Like you don't see an ego out of control on this level in person. It still gives me like a weird Twilight Zone kind of vibe to this day.
2 days before I was in the hospital, I was on opioids. I was addicted to opioids. I had plastic surgery because I was trying to look good for y'all. I got liposuction.
That's gotta be the craziest. And he's not even trying to be funny. This is The Office. This is an Office scene. Kanye is Michael Scott. Kanye is actually Ed Helms. What's his fucking name in the show? Can't remember. I mean, these people are like deer in headlights. They're like, what the fuck?
Because I didn't want y'all to call me fat like y'all called Rob at the wedding and made him fly home before me and Kim got married.
Now, he does have a point there. It must feel nice for Kanye in this moment to be able to look at this, like, media conglomerate. He can, like, look at it and talk to the people. That must have been very cathartic for him because, you know, like any A-lister, they've been bullied by these fucking paparazzi for ages. The fat shaming, the body shaming, all of that. So true. There's always, like, a kernel of truth in what he's saying. He gets to tell them, like, it's you motherfuckers. It's you guys. I mean, and the fact that this is all filmed, like, not only is Kanye doing this crazy rant, but they're filming inside of the TMZ office with the employees there working on the computer. Like, it was such a mind trip. Nowadays, we see these dudes, they do the setup all the time. But at the time, it was very different for my brain.
I don't want y'all to call me fat, so I got liposuction, right? And they gave me opioids, right? And I started taking 2 of them and then driving to work on the opioids, right? Then my boy, and I'd always ask my boy, you know, to hand me if it's, you know, we on tour, give me some weed, blah, blah, blah. So he had to go give me the opioids. And there was talks amongst my camp, like, Ye's popping pills, right? So when he had
I'm a little lost. Whatever.
to me, he said, you know, this is used to kill genius, right? So I didn't take it. 2 days later,
I need to give an obligatory antidepressants. They don't kill genius.
A hospital. I was taking 2 pills a day at that time. When I left the hospital, how many pills you think I was given?
A lot.
7.
7.
I went from taking 2 pills to taking 7.
That is crazy. That's fucking nuts.
So the reason why I dropped those tweets and everything, because I was drugged the fuck out, bro. And I'm not drugged out. These pills that they want me to take 3 of a day, I take 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. Y'all had me scared of myself, of my vision. So I took some pills so I wouldn't go to hospital and prove everyone right.
I don't know how far back the Hitler praising goes, but I do imagine it's been going on for a while. Okay, I think there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes about Kanye, things that he said, things that he believes that we aren't even exactly aware of. Episodes he's gone through within his family, within his camp, we don't even know. So why they had him on 7 pills? Maybe he was saying that he could see Hitler right in front of him. Maybe he was having genuine visual hallucinations. I don't think it's that extreme, but still, like, we don't know. Like, he's not the doctor. I'm just saying, I do know that he was talking about Hitler well before the public was aware of it. His family was probably been hyper concerned for a long time. and the public isn't exactly aware of what's going on. So he can claim all these things to the public, and it makes them look like they're overstepping their boundaries, them as in like his family or whoever's sending these doctors to him.
We are drugged out. We are following other people's opinions. We are controlled by the media.
Dude, the fucking red pill is just so deep up his asshole. It's just embarrassing, man. He shoved that shit right up there. We are controlled by the media. Everything is a conspiracy.
We are controlled by the media. And today
they put fluoride in your toothpaste to give you submissive thoughts. I don't know. Seeds of truth wrapped in blankets of bullshit and fear and paranoia and just gobbledygook.
changes. You got Tupac and Lennon in that hallway. Today.
An interesting observation. Kanye is always one to make interesting observations. That's for sure.
It all changes. We need to think how to think free. We need to be free thinkers. Then we need to learn how to feel free. People say feel free, but we don't even know how to feel free or think. I
was taken aback by all of this at the time, but he would go on and do these rants, and I'd be like, bro, he's kind of thinking outside the box. Nowadays, I go back and listen to this 6-7 years later, and it sounds so elementary. This shit sounds like I just had my first acid trip, and I think my mind is expanding beyond the stratosphere or something. He sounds like a baby.
Free. Say what you feel, positive or negative. I just got off the phone with J. Cole. He said, how'd you feel when they said the Crips is gonna kill you? I said, man, that was the headline. But when they said they wanted to beat me up.
The ums and the pauses. He's so passionate, but the words, they're just not really. I mean, he sounds like me out here floundering on the damn live stream trying to think of a word, but he's out here on TMZ trying to make like a proclamative statement on a soapbox. He needs a computer, he needs a microphone, and he needs a YouTube or a Twitch channel, and he just needs to live stream, and that's all Kanye needs to do. He doesn't need to be out doing tour presses. He doesn't need to be at the Grammys anymore. He doesn't need to be at New York Fashion Week or in Paris during whatever the fuck goes on out there. Just give him a mic. Kanye is just basically me at this point. But I'm not a neo-Nazi, so that puts me a step above Kanye, right?
I said, that's great. They're my brothers. They love me. They don't want nothing to happen to Ye. They just want to be subsensitive to me.
Hold up.
I said, that's great. They're my brothers. They love me.
This still of his face right here, this is going to be something. We're going to capture that right there, okay? Something for the meme channel on the Discord.
They don't want nothing to happen to Ye. They just want to be subsensitive to me. I love Daz. I love the Crips. I love the Bloods. I love everyone. How many people are feeling, how many people felt something that I said today? Raise a hand if you felt something that I said today.
Bro, Candace Owens is in there. Whoa. What the fuck? Did Candace used to work for TMZ? I didn't know that. She was like, oh yeah. Kanye, I'm feeling this shit. A ghoul of a woman.
Do you feel that I'm feeling, do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
Yes.
I actually don't think you're thinking anything. I think
I remember this.
what you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. And the reason why I feel like that.
That looks like Virgil too, for real.
Because Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you.
Even in 2018, it seemed just like the general person had a little more sense, a little less conspiracy brain. Nowadays, every single motherfucker, doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right or even in the center, for real. Everybody is a goddamn conspiracy theorist. And it seems like this was kind of like the turning point where quote unquote normal people or quote unquote cool people started to buy into the conspiratorial type of thinking. Again, it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. Everybody is just subject to it. And this was kind of a flashpoint in the culture where with Kanye, someone who is like the ultimate cool person, the ultimate hip-hop artist and whatnot, is aligning themselves with something so heinous. And then people finding power in that just because Kanye has done it. And that snowballs eventually to where it's like, well, it's kind of cool to be a Nazi because Kanye is, right? That's literally where we're at now. It's fucking nuts.
Just said. And while you are making music and being an artist and living the life that you've earned by being a genius, the rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives. We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice. Every day we have to walk into that truth while you choose to.
See, that statement nowadays, that shit doesn't sound great 7 years later. That slavery was a choice thing. I don't know what Kanye thought he was saying when he said that. I don't know what kind of mental gymnastics he was doing, but it's not sticking in 2025. I can only imagine that that is not sticking. It didn't stick in 2018, and it's certainly not sticking in 2025.
To say things that, to be honest with you, dog, are nonsensical. You want to think freely? That's fine. I'll combat your free thought with my free thought because mine is grounded in a reality that I have been given and a reality that I'm.
He roasted Ye, dude. Roasted him. Cooked him like a marshmallow. And Kanye has the balls, the audacity to point at him.
I'm going to change, but I'm not going to do it by pretending that the enemies are on the same team as me. And frankly, I'm disappointed. I'm appalled. And brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real. That's the way I feel.
The cooking is unreal. He said Kanye is not even real at this point. I would love to hear his thoughts on Kanye now. The way he put it is so quickly eloquent about the path Kanye has been on. Because at this point, he had only wore the MAGA hat and tweeted the MAGA stuff like a couple weeks before, maybe even that week. This is like right when it happened.
Stand on all the coffee tables you want to stand on. Say whatever you want to say, but don't throw a stone, then hide your hand like the rest of us are just going to swallow it. Yay, be yay. I'm off it forever. Do you. But remember, the life that I live is as a real person, an actual person.
Now, the thing is, he said he said grounded in reality. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice.
Dude, that is the cringiest fucking take ever. We're not in some fucking movie. This isn't written by Quentin Tarantino, dog. Like, get a grip, Kanye. This video is so old, too. It doesn't get better from here for him.
Like when I said slavery is a choice. The reality, we can make our own reality. We can talk about history, but not too long. We need to talk about our now because we can fix.
He is talking. Mans was talking about now. He's the one that said we need to focus in reality, dog. The fuck you mean history, dude?
And start loving each other now. When I say we have no enemies, we don't have enemies. Black people have a tendency to focus and march when a white person kills a black person or wears a hat. But when it's 700 kids being killed in Chicago, it's okay. It's okay for blacks to kill blacks. But if it's a white thing,
it's not okay.
I don't think anybody's saying that's okay.
That's no, wait.
There's been more focus and more marches.
That is a lie.
About
don't
whites
believe that.
killing blacks than kids in Chicago killing each other.
That's a lie. There are black people working there.
There are no marches.
90% of black people getting killed are killed by other blacks.
That's a fact.
The black homicide rate is a fact.
That is a fact.
Black on black crime is a fact.
But there are black people.
Okay,
wait a second.
Now this is a problem.
Wait a second.
We have to. You're too far. You have to be closer to me.
I'm here right now. There are black.
He is kind of far away. They should get closer. They're screaming across the goddamn room.
People working every single day.
Brother, don't scream because it will make us look crazy.
I don't care how we look in front of this.
Oh my god. I don't know if I've seen this deep into the shit. I mean, is that racist? Settle down. You're gonna make us look crazy. Kanye, you're making yourself look crazy. It doesn't seem like there's any we in this room right now.
You're talking some bullshit.
No, when you scream, and you don't talk.
Like Kanye is being racist towards this person in a roundabout way.
It doesn't look.
Right.
Let me just say something.
Let me impart this upon you.
Okay, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about because these are two different versions of somebody else's truth. This is two different.
Candace comes up? I was not aware.
Versions of somebody else's truth. So he gets up and he's talking slavery, right? Okay, I'm not enslaved, so that it's like I don't mean to insult his reality.
No, Kanye, come on over.
I just wanted to give him a hug.
Right. Like I don't mean to.
No. I think he might want to fight me, but I want to give him a hug.
Okay, but like.
Let's finish conversation and then more.
What Kanye just
I love you, and I want to give you a hug. I feel like you want to fight me right now, but I love you.
I don't fight with my fist, man. I've been through that. This is what I'm saying.
So if I come over there, you're not gonna fight me?
No, I'm not gonna hit.
He's not real. TMZ Mans is so right. He's like, I fuck with something that's real, and you're not real, Kanye. Do they hug? Oh God.
Bro, you gotta be responsible, man.
Bro, I'm sorry I hurt you.
You gotta be responsible, dog.
I'm sorry I hurt you,
man,
bro.
Your voice is too big. You gotta
I'm sorry I hurt you.
I'm sorry I hurt you, bro. Ugh. Man's right here. This guy, he's a real one. Down to earth, speaks his mind, just a very genuine person. Cares. Kanye, just an actor, dude. That's what he is.
Bro, I love you, bro. I'm sorry I hurt you with my words.
He goes, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I love you, bro.
Man.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Just the most horrible energy ever.
Bro,
gotta be responsible,
I didn't
dog.
mean to say things that hurt you. I didn't mean to wear the hat out the blue and shock so many people and not give them a way out of the pain. I understand that gave him pain, that made him see pain. But guess what? When I went into the hospital. We're now in the hospital. TMZ is the hospital to fix.
Nah. He started off good there. He could have gone somewhere nice with that, but nah. You guys are like me now. What? What?
The world. We.
It's us against the world, but you guys are like me, and I was in the hospital, and you're in the hospital now. Bro, what?
Obama was our opioid.
Obama! Opioids! Buzzwords. Obama was black people's opioids. It numbed the pain. That's Kanye's point. I used to think he was a genius. Trust me. Used to. It's been a long time now at this point.
It made us feel like everything was
that's
good.
That's not true, bro.
Yeah.
That's not true. Listen, first of all, calmly.
What's your name though?
I'm Van.
I'm sorry for
I
disappointing
thought he was about to say, and I'm Kanye.
you, Van.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Calmly.
Yeah.
What you said up there a second ago, the statistic on black on black violence is true. What they don't tell you is there are people dedicating their lives to working throughout the problems of black people. There are black people every day, boots on the ground. They're all over the place that are working towards this. Like every single day, people are trying to fix this problem. The narrative that black people don't care about black lives until a white person takes them is false. That is not true. But the problem is the people that are doing this work in communities every day, guys all over the place, they don't get the type of reverence, they don't get the type of shine, they don't get the type of light spotted on them, the spotlight, should I say, that other people do. Those people are the ones that need to be empowered, the people that can help Chicago, that can help South Baton Rouge, that can help those places, that are working there every day.
This guy knows his shit. Kanye doesn't even understand the waters he jumps into before he jumps into them. You know, that same type of mindset, I guess, got him to a certain point of success, but the crash and burn is just unprecedented.
Doing it and they dedicating their lives to it, but they don't get big up by rappers, they don't get invited to things, they do it for nothing because they have to. So what I'm trying to say is while we having all of these conversations about stuff that gets covered on the news, who's going to talk about what doesn't get covered on the news? Like, to me, for a lot.
At least Kanye does sit back and listen. Kanye is not stupid. We're going to skip a little bit of this because, you know, the man's a speaking facts. He speaks nothing but facts, but we are here for the juice.
About the fact that they mean me harm.
I think that we have to get next to everyone. We don't like Trump. We have to talk to them. We have to talk because Trump is a human being also, and he's in a very powerful position, and he's doing a lot of things to actually help business owners be able to go past all these fake laws and rules and things. I mean, Candace can give you the facts better than that, but we need to speak to people. Einstein says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So we keep on saying, I hate you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. How are we gonna get a different result out of hate? Why don't we just try love? Why don't we just try love? Why can't it be okay for an influential rapper in the black community to go up to the president and talk to him about how we can make a change one by one?
I see what he's saying. On one hand, Kanye has this access and other people have access to Donald Trump. And back then, especially in the hip hop community, the progressive communities, for a hip hop artist to interact with Trump, it was blasphemy. It wasn't as commonplace as it is today, now that Trump has like pardoned all these different rappers and has gotten support from other rappers like Benny the Butcher and shit. Back then, it's like people like Kanye were in certain positions where they could speak to Trump, person who happened to be the most powerful person in the world at that time. Some benefit could come from that, but doing so would be like sacrificing their career. So like, I do agree with Kanye, like not necessarily fair. You know, I don't think that alone should immediately cancel somebody for their entire career. And I had that same viewpoint in 2018. I did. I loved Donda. I still supported Kanye through his his self-titled album, right? Even though he had done the Red Hat shit and it was very disappointing and he did this weird TMZ interview and shit. Here's the thing. He started to do White Lives Matter shit, you know, endorsing White Lives Matter. I don't know how to exactly slice that. That's not really my place to even, like, I disagree with what Kanye is saying, but he is talking within his own ranks. And it's not my place to really enter that. And the thing is, the moment that he starts attacking outwardly and less so inwardly, because the whole White Lives Matter thing and this whole TMZ interview, it's screaming insecurity and a lot of like internal struggles that Kanye is having. But then he starts pointing the finger at other races, obviously Jewish people, but just the doubling and the tripling and the quadrupling down and just the violent statements. And then the cozying up with Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos and then Trump. He is full on right-wing, far-right pipeline, red-pilled, incel. He is down a very bizarre, very dangerous, very sick ideology. Deep. I believe Kanye is in this shit deep. I do. It is what it is. Kanye, he's a sick man, right? And now we get single Kanye, and then we get thirsty Kanye. Obviously, Kanye has always been thirsty, but we get single thirsty Kanye, which is a whole different fucking monster, where it actually becomes very believable on the outside when someone presses a lawsuit against Kanye for sexual assault, battery, stalking, sex trafficking, false imprisonment. This is why I wanted to look up that Kanye video, because it's the same two dudes.
Shocking lawsuit, a story we broke yesterday. Kanye West is being sued for sexual harassment by his ex-assistant. But this lawsuit, I gotta say, the information in this lawsuit is about as filthy as it gets.
Yeah, we are going to have a hard time describing the things that Lauren Pisciotta claims Kanye, while she was under his employ, that he was texting to her.
So she was an OnlyFans model, and she says making about $1 million a year, very successful, when Kanye somehow spotted her.
And decided he wanted to, I like how you said that, somehow spotted her.
She never says in the lawsuit that it's because of OnlyFans.
Right, but he became familiar with her and wanted to hire her to be his personal assistant. And it is worth mentioning, I think, that when she came on board was within months of Kanye's divorce from Kim Kardashian.
Can I just note that she does not look dissimilar to Kim?
Correct. She does not. But she doesn't, that's just our opinion. She doesn't mention that at all in the lawsuit. But she says once she was on board that Kanye, as,
She doesn't look dissimilar to Kim, but she also doesn't look like Kim. So, I mean, they have the same big boobs, big butt kind of look, but...
her boss would text her things, but the things that she says he was texting had nothing to do with, work. It was more about sex, his desire to have sex with her. I'm cleaning this up as much as
it is very believable. Even if it is false, it should say something about Kanye's character, how believable this is. I mean, it falls right in line with everything we know about Kanye and his sex addiction, especially with it lining up with his divorce and whatnot. Also not blaming Kanye for being thirsty. It's one thing to be thirsty, but it's another thing to hire somebody and then sexually assault them. He is her boss. Imagine your boss trying to have sex with you. Is what it is, in a creepy way.
They can, but
how about fixation with a male body part?
Yes, his own.
Yeah, also fixation with what she was doing with other men. He wanted to know about that. And Charles, you hit on this. What makes this sort of all the worse is not that he was having conversations with somebody he happened to know. It's with an employee.
Allegedly.
Certainly.
That's allegedly what I just fucking said.
Allegedly. It was with an employee. Those are the allegations.
Yeah, let me clarify. These are all accusations, allegations. We don't know the facts. Nothing has been proven by court, but it is a lawsuit, so it is in the courts.
She was actually his employee, first a personal assistant. She then says he promised her promotions, not in exchange for anything, but just as a matter of course. These
and also a huge pay increase.
Huge pay increase, up to as much as $4 million. And so the allegations in the complaint are obviously insanely graphic, and that's what's going to get the headlines. But underlying it all, allegations of real discrimination against an employee. Said he fired her. She alleges it was failure to engage in some sort of quid pro quo, harassment based on gender. A lot of really serious allegations.
Kanye has not responded. We reached out. We have not heard back from his rep. But I got to tell you, when you read this thing,
Kanye, you should reach out. Kanye, if you happen to be watching this, and we know you are, you should go back on TMZ. Give us another interview. Everybody wants it.
Some of the quotes, by the way, that sound like something I've heard him say before. There's one thing in particular about saying that a certain part of his anatomy is racist. That he was telling, according to her, to Lauren, he was telling her in text that he believes his penis is racist.
Because it likes white women is, I think, the point.
I think
point
what
was-
he's saying is that he likes white women.
TMZ should hire me. Maybe that's where I need to work. I could cover for somebody.
Right.
And I think that,
That's how I read
that's
it.
the way, that's the way I understood it too. Now, again, these are allegations.
Yeah.
And you never know. And I think it's so important to say, look, this is a public lawsuit. She filed it. We actually had heard rumblings that this was coming down the pike.
I wasn't here when you broke this yesterday. Did she include in the lawsuit any of the text messages?
Yeah.
Like screen grabs of text messages?
Well, she wrote the text message.
She wrote it out, but no screen grabs.
No, but she wrote it out in painstaking detail. She clearly wanted to make the nature of the text messages, as well she should if they're accurate, the focal point of what people were going to see and point out. Every detail is in.
Hi, this is Lauren from Marina Del Rey, and to tell you the truth, I'm not surprised to hear about these allegations. I've been concerned about a lot of the women in Kanye's orbit for a long time. He obviously needs an HR department. I think he needs some help himself, and I hope this woman gets justice if these allegations are true. And I am curious to know how this might affect his current marriage.
Well, I got to say, I'm glad you mentioned that because Bianca Censori, his wife, was working
also an
there
employee.
at the same time as Lauren.
As a designer, right.
And
I don't think Bianca cares.
She was a Yeezy designer.
right. And she was there at the same time. Obviously, we haven't heard from her, but
At all.
Tangled
Like
Web.
ever.
Tangled Web.
Never heard a single peep from her. Kanye's got her under wraps. Not literally because she's naked everywhere, but figuratively under wraps. So we've got discourse happening about this on Reddit, okay? Now I want to read some of this just because it kind of helps me get ahead of what I'll be hearing in the comments section of this video when I clip it. You know, I can address them before. Somebody goes, the only thing I'm surprised about on this is that it's the same person for the third or fourth time. That's the image that a lot of people are getting here. It's like, oh, this one girl keeps throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Because she sued Kanye like last year or something, and then she added more details to it. Now she's adding more details. So it seems like, why wouldn't she say it all at once is kind of the idea. No, she could have multiple reasons for that. I don't know. But what's actually going on here, and what people go into further in the comment section, is that it's all one lawsuit. She is making amendments to one lawsuit that is still ongoing. So it's not like just, oh, she's throwing rumors out left and right just to see what sticks. It's like, no, her lawyer is drafting up very detailed amendments to that lawsuit. So somebody else goes, I'm all for dragging Ye for being shitty, but this woman has been trying to extort him for 5+ years. Okay. The validity of that is definitely in question. Comes up with some different outlandish story every 6 months. Okay. Outlandish, not so outlandish if you ask me. It actually falls quite in line with what we know about Kanye and his sex addiction up until this point. We all know Ye is insane, but this woman is not trustworthy in the slightest. Why is she not trustworthy? That's the thing. Why is she not trustworthy? Because she's the Jay Leno chin girl. Her cases keep getting thrown out for being baseless and straight made up. Her cases aren't being thrown out. This person is lying. What they're saying is just not true. It's just kind of lies and it's based on nothing. They go, for those wondering, this is the Jay Leno chin girl. First off, okay, what's the Jay Leno chin girl? Somebody asked that. That's a weird insult. She's got a pretty normal chin. Yeah, supposedly the full story is she had a bunch of work done to fix her chin. She used to look like Jay Leno. Great work, props to the surgeon. He did a great job. The Jay Leno story, this person brought that up as if to like throw this Lauren lady's credibility into question, but it doesn't make any sense. It amounts to literally nothing. But this person is saying she's not trustworthy in the slightest because of it. And it's just not true. There's no reason to believe she's not trustworthy, okay? Because she got plastic surgery. Doesn't make sense. So this other person, Alpha Lobster 200, goes, there's a story of a model chick describing how she went to Ye's house and was being pressed by his entourage, and as soon as Ye heard what was going on, he stormed into the room and screamed, she said no, leave her the fuck alone. The guy is clearly unwell, but he still has something resembling a moral code for this subject anyway. Okay, so backing up Kanye's character, another person replies to that going, given this dude's history, that story sounds as outlandish as this girl's story. It's just as much believable, not true as true. It means nothing. anything, really. The reason I'm reading these is because somebody goes, nuance, y'all can't both be right. And that's my point. Like, Kanye could have in the past been a stand-up guy and stopped somebody from getting sexually assaulted. Absolutely, I believe that. Do I also believe that Kanye, in his divorced, psychopathic, neo-Nazi state of mind in his fucking late 40s, early 50s, or whatever the hell, sexually assaulted somebody? Yes, Kanye, when he was 20 and 30, trying to get famous and trying to become a superstar, was a completely different Kanye once he became that superstar. Like, totally different people, as far as I'm concerned. Somebody else goes, now, according to Reddit, it's guilty until proven innocent, and even if proven innocent, it's only due to lack of evidence. She could come out and say, sorry guys, but I made everything up, and people here will still believe he did it. Now, this is the type of accusation that I get thrown my way in videos like my Slow Tie video, where, Slow Tie was found not guilty of his double rape accusations, but I still made a video standing firm that, like, I do believe something happened there. And the video got fucking, like, downvoted to hell. A lot of comments for my videos, most of which were just saying, like, bro, you just believe the victims because they say that shit, bro. Like, that type of thing. They could just make anything up. Do you realize, especially in the UK, I think, how long a lawsuit and how much work and how much effort and how much time it takes to involve yourself in a fucking lawsuit? It is not easy work. There's no, like, real payout for this. Of course, real psychopaths could do that type of shit, and I'm sure they have, and I'm sure they will in the future. But in this Slow Tie case, just for an example, do I believe that these women with the super, like, heartfelt, tragic story of getting raped by Slow Tie and his friend on a roof of a building at a party, do I believe that they're doing it for clout? This years-long, drawn-out court battle in the public eye? No, I don't think they're doing that for clout. So just because the jury didn't find that there was enough evidence for a sexual assault, that's not going to sway me to disbelieve the stories of the victims. Like, it's you should read the stories. Anyways, so this person is doing that here. Now, according to Reddit, it's guilty until proven innocent, and even if proven innocent, it's only due to lack of evidence, blah, blah, blah. And then Drop Watcher here. Shout out Drop Watcher. Fuck yeah, dude. Drop Watcher is a legend in hip hop heads Reddit because every Friday they post the list of new releases that I rely on every week. So Drop Watcher coming in with the dope ass comment, is there any evidence that her cases keep getting thrown out for being baseless and straight made up? That's my point. Like, there's no evidence for that. Like, that person just made that up. Her cases don't keep getting thrown out. It's one lawsuit that has been in the court system this whole time, and Lauren's lawyer just keeps adding more details to the one lawsuit, just adding more for the judge to consider. And then Drop Watcher continues on, from what this article says and from what I've been able to find online, all these headlines are just a part of one lawsuit that hasn't been, quote, dismissed or, quote, thrown out. It's an amendment to the complaint. You clearly didn't read it. Read before you start saying dumb shit that devalues claims of sexual assault. Thanks. Kind of telling on yourself with this. Somebody else, the Mad Stork. It's an amendment to the original complaint. Try reading before you jump to calling women liars. Most people who jump to those conclusions have a hard time with reading thinking. And that's my problem with the internet these days from the last couple of years. It's like, dude, nobody reads shit. Everybody just wants to jump to conclusions. Yeah, that's it.